Hello and welcome to another episode of Inside the Inferno. I'm Adam Cunin, alongside Ben Yates. Ben, I'm excited for both of us to make our debuts here at the desk today.
Yeah, Adam, super stoked to be here. Absolutely thrilled to be on this desk. This show is going to be packed as there's a lot of news going around Sun Devil athletics. ASU football is on the road this weekend in Seattle as the Sun Devils hope to rally for a win against a top 10 opponent. Our very own Jack Bartlett will be traveling to the game, but before he takes off, he's here in the studio to tell us what to look forward to in the matchup.
I'm pumped to be here, and so should you, as we talk about one of the most explosive offenses in college football right now, led by Heisman favorite Michael Penix Jr. The Huskies have a ton of depth this season, from a wide receiver who could hoist the Blitnikoff Award in Rome Odunze to Jalen Polk and Jalen McMillan. Penix has a lot of guys to pass the ball to this year. So let's get into it. Second possession for UW. We're going to see Polk come into motion, move a defender off the line, and then a beautiful dive from Penix right to Giles Jackson, who burns past his defender. A beautiful play for the Huskies as they get on the board first. I love the next play for UW all the way around. We'll catch up here in a second. A check down pass from Polk. And it seems at first he may only get a few yards. But if you look, he's got a few blockers up in front. Wide receiver Giles Jackson, tight end Devin Culp with two crucial blocks to keep the play alive and give their team a fresh set of downs. If you take a second look, defensive end Brandon Dorless does a great job of getting off the line. But how about the sidearm pass from Michael Penix, an area where Patrick Mahomes has really excelled in the NFL, and Penix able to do the same thing, helping his team pick up a first down. Jalen Polk had himself a day against the Ducks, his second 118-yard game of the season, and burning past all defenders for a touchdown late in the first quarter to give the Huskies back the lead. We've seen aggressive play calling from Kenny Dillingham, but how about Kalen DeBoer doing it himself? Penix right behind center, handing it off to wide receiver Jeremy Bernard, who sees he won't get many yards running upfield, so what does he do? Throws a dot right to Jalen Polk. We head to the third quarter where Rome Odunze does this one-on-one coverage with Dante Manning, jumps up in the air and makes an impressive catch in tight coverage. ASU has a tall task ahead of itself this weekend, needing to contain Penix, Odunze, Polk, and Jalen McMillan is no easy feat. In fact, no team has accomplished said feat this season as the Huskies stand undefeated. Using unconventional defense, like using Jordan Clark to blitz or zone coverage with two or possibly even three high safeties, may help the Sun Devils from bleeding dry. ASU will need to capitalize on the run game as the Huskies have allowed 135.3 yards per game on the ground, which ranks 50th among FBS schools. Sac State transfer Cam Scatabo has kept ASU in games often by himself, and he'll need to do it again to have a chance. And ahead of the big matchup and the greatest setting in college football on Saturday, I remind Sun Devil fans that Trenton Bourguet is the last quarterback to take down the Huskies dating back to last season. I'll be there live for more news and updates during the game with Inferno Intel. Until then, I send it back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Jack. Looks like ASU will have their hands full this week. Staying in the Pacific Northwest, last week ASU's women's volleyball team traveled to Eugene, Oregon to take on the Oregon Ducks.
In their biggest test of the season, the Sun Devils picked up a huge win over the number 5 ranked team in the country. With more on last week's win, here's our reporter, John Kenny.
Arizona State won a big road matchup at number 5 Oregon this past weekend by sweeping the Ducks 3-0. This marks the first time Arizona State has beat Oregon in Eugene since 2019. This win also marks the first time Arizona State has swept Oregon since 2018. One key player in the game for Arizona State was senior outside hitter Marta Lebinska. She led the team with 12 kills in the game. Jelly Sear, Shannon Shields, and Mary Schroll each led the team with 10 digs in the game. We'll have to see if Arizona State can keep their momentum as they continue their road trip this weekend against Utah and Colorado. Back to you, Ben.
Thanks, John. The Sun Devils men's hockey team opened their regular season last weekend at home with a strong start on the ice. Parker Bay was at Mullet Arena for their matchups against Merrimack College.
Arizona State hockey opened its season against number 15 ranked Merrimack College to start the 2023-24 season with a 2-game series here at Mullet Arena. After a thrilling 1-0 overtime win for the Sun Devils Friday night, the next day's game would deliver the same energy. After a scoreless first period, Merrimack would head into the third period of play up 2-1. Goals came from juniors Mac Hillier and Matt Capone for the Warriors, while senior assistant captain Ryan O'Reilly scored the lone period's goal for the Sun Devils. However, ASU would come out firing on all cylinders in the third period. Within the last 10 minutes of the game, 3 different Sun Devils found the back of the net, 2 of which would come on the power play. Senior assistant captain Lucas Sillinger would equalize the score. Then, with under a minute remaining in the game, senior assistant captain Matthew Copperoon would score the game-winning goal for Arizona State. Senior Alex Young would then seal the deal for ASU with an empty net goal, giving the Sun Devils a 4-2 win. Copperoon had this to say about scoring game-winning goals on back-to-back nights.
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome. I mean, the biggest thing is the sweep. We got 2 wins versus a ranked opponent. I mean, scoring those 2 goals is obviously nice, but having 2 wins under our belt now to start the season and get rolling is way better.
Head coach Greg Powers had this to say about starting the season off 2-0.
It's good. I mean, it's the second time in our NCAA era that we've opened up 2-0. You know, the last time was 2-0 and we made the tournament. So it's a good start. You know, as an independent, every win matters. And to get 2 against a team that's going to get a lot of wins this season, which Merrimack will, you'll see that. It'll be the gift that keeps on giving.
Thanks to Matthew Copperland's back-to-back game-winning goals here Friday and Saturday night against Merrimack College, ASU opens the season 2-0, winning here 4-2 tonight here at Mullet Arena. ASU will take on Northern Michigan here Friday and Saturday next week. From Inferno Intel, I'm Parker Bay.
Thanks, Parker. The Sun Devils now have their sights set on this weekend, where they will face off against the Northern Michigan Wildcats. Our Lachlan McTagg has all the latest on this week's showdown.
Thanks, Adam. After shocking number 15 Merrimack with an opening weekend sweep, the Sun Devils find themselves ranked for the first time since February of 2020. The team is back for more this weekend at Mullet Arena against the Northern Michigan Wildcats. The Wildcats are coming off a high-scoring weekend versus Minnesota Duluth, unfortunately dropping both games of that series. Tanner Latch recorded a hat-trick last Friday and became the second player in Wildcat program history to record a hat-trick in their collegiate debut. Latch added 2 goals the following night, earning him Forward of the Week honors in the CCHA. Captain Andre Gantus recorded 6 points last weekend and sits tied for 5th in the nation. Last season, Gantus led the Wildcats with 38 points in 38 games. On the back end, Josh Zinger is the man to watch out for. Last weekend, he recorded 4 assists, which earned him CCHA Defenseman of the Week. For the Sun Devils to have another successful weekend, they will need to stay out of the box. ASU was one of the most penalized teams in the nation last year and gave Merrimack many chances on the man advantage last weekend. The Wildcat power play also went 6 for 18 against Duluth and looked dangerous on every attempt. The Sun Devils will also need to contain the speed in the neutral zone of the Wildcats and not allow too many odd man chances against. This is shaping up to be a high-flying, action-packed series. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Lachlan. It'll be interesting to see how long the Sun Devils can stay ranked on the ice. Transitioning over to the Diamond, ASU Baseball has their schedule set, and our Kayla Marinow has more on what's next for the team.
For all of you Sun Devil baseball fans, I have news for you. Your Sun Devils just released the 2024 schedule. The last season of Pac-12 baseball for ASU includes 33 home games, opening the season at home against Santa Clara on February 16th. At least 4 opponents on the 2024 schedule won their conference titles last season, including Santa Clara, Stanford, UC San Diego, and Cal State Fullerton. If you don't want to wait until February to check out the new squad, head out to Phoenix Muni for a fall ball scrimmage as the ASU Maroon and Gold teams face off this weekend. The best part is, it's free. So bring your friends and make sure you're checking the Sun Devil social media pages for updates. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Kayla. Sounds like Sun Devils fans have a lot to look forward to in the near future. You know, Ben, we heard from John earlier about ASU volleyball's big win, but another ASU team had a big upset last night. It might be time to rename Tempe Upset City.
Yeah, they might have to, Adam. Out on the pitch, another surprising upset last night as the number 24 ASU soccer team edged out number 11 USC 1-0. Goalkeeper Pauline Nels recorded her 9th shutout of the season. That's a single-season school record. The Devils handed the Trojans their first conference loss of the season and tied the two teams for third place in the Pac-12 standings.
Well, one thing's for sure. There's never a dull moment covering the Sun Devils. And with that, today's show comes to a close.
Be sure to follow Inferno Intel on social media at Inferno Intel and check out our website at infernointelmedia.com. For Adam Cunin and the rest of our crew, I'm Ben Yates. So long, farewell, and we'll see you next week on Inside the Inferno.